What's up, guys? In today's video, I'm going to be talking about 5 fragrances that make me want to get rid of the rest of my fragrances. So these fragrances are so good that even if I had to just keep it, just the one fragrance and get rid of my entire collection, I think I would be okay. Let's go ahead and start off with the only one that I'm not too certain about on this list, but it is Amoir's Jubilation 25. So the reason Amoir's Jubilation 25 is in this list is because I really do love the scent. And the reason it's one of the ones that I'm not too sure, it's like the only one I'm iffy about putting in this list, was because of how it's not polarizing. And it's not that it's too difficult to wear, but it is kind of difficult to be a signature scent. Maybe you could wear this in the hot summer days, but maybe a little limited, maybe 1 or 2 sprays. Maybe during the night when it's a little bit cooler, you could maybe go a 3rd spray. That's the only reason why I'm like iffy about this one. And keep in mind, most of these, I love them so much that I don't really wear them, just because I kind of save them for like special occasions, just because I don't want to get bored of them. Then one that I feel like every time I wear, I'm just like, I could just get rid of everything else. But then I get reminded that I have these other four fragrances, and I'm just like, I can't get rid of those either. But Tuxedo by YSL. This is one that I love. Had a clone of it. Kiss Me for Men's a good clone of it. Then I got rid of that. Got Roach's Eau de Parfum. That's a pretty similar smell, but it's a little bit fresher. And then you get Tuxedo, which is the best version of it, in my opinion. Could it be because I spent the money on Tuxedo? Maybe. But it's also, I think the quality's there compared to the other two. The quality's there. The performance is better. I'm not saying this is going to be a 12-hour fragrance, but the performance is better than the Kismet for Men and the Roach's fragrance. And when you do spray it, it does leave like a, not like a, it's like a, what's it called? Nice little oil film on your skin. So you could definitely tell that it's, a little bit higher quality, a little bit thicker on the oil, I guess. I don't know. Then one fragrance that you're expecting it to be on this list, it's going to be Viking. Do I mention Viking a lot? Yes. It's my 3rd bottle for a reason. I've gone through so many of them for a reason. Creed Viking is... I got a text. Someone was like looking to swap a fragrance with me, and they were saying that Viking was reformulated before. I don't think it was. I feel like it's the same smell I've had this entire time, or if it was reformulated, it's not a big enough difference for me to know. I guess there was a 2018 batch or something that they got reformulated in, but that's people going with these batch codes and stuff for Creed. Sure, Aventus could smell slightly different every Aventus. The Viking, I've had 3 of them. Actually, you know what, now that I think about it, when I got the bigger bottle, it did smell slightly different, but I think it was just because it was a newer bottle. Now that it's kind of macerated a bit, it kind of smells to what I remember my other bottle smelling like. Nothing different. It's not like I reminisce about my old bottles of Viking and I'm like, I miss the way those smelled. I think this one smells the exact same. I don't think I'm, I don't think there's a difference. So if you see anything about the batches and you're like, someone's trying to sell you an older batch of Viking, I honestly don't think that's a real thing. I just think you have the fragrance for so long, it's going to start smelling different once you keep it for a while. So that's a little tangent, but Viking for sure is one that every time I wear it, this is one that for sure I feel like I could just sell everything else. If I could keep maybe an Aventus, a Viking, and a Tuxedo, I might consider just getting rid of everything else. But obviously, I love fragrances. It doesn't mean I'm going to do that. Obviously, that's going to be like a top 3. And I spoiled one, so might as well just talk about it. So it's going to be Aventus. So Aventus, this is my 4th bottle of Aventus. I have Aventus Cologne. Yes, I have Absolute Aventus. But it all came from Aventus. So Aventus, going back to when I first got my bottle of Aventus that my fiance got it for me. We were just starting to date at the time that she got it for me. She's the one that kind of causes this problem of expensive fragrances. I'm just kidding. But, not shortly after, I ended up getting my first Viking bottle. But Creed Aventus, for sure, really nice. If you have a bigger collection, you might get tired or bored of wearing Aventus just because you want to wear something else, but then you end up going back to Aventus at some point. That's at least how I feel about it. For me, haven't really gotten bored of wearing Aventus, even to the point that I got Aventus Cologne and Absolute Aventus, and I love them. I just don't really wear them too much just because I don't want to run out of juice in the bottle. Not that I don't want to buy a fifth bottle of Aventus, but at this point it's kind of crazy how I've gone through so many of them. So that means in my life I have probably gone through at least 300 mLs of Aventus. Maybe around 300 mLs. Then you include a little bit of this one. Just because my first two bottles were the big bottles. Then I got the smaller bottles, not thinking I was going to go through them. 250 mLs of Aventus. This is my fourth bottle, so this would be the 300th ml. Aventus is just that good to me. I've had Aventus for years, and I just really love it. If you have 4 bottles of a fragrance, it's something you actually, you love. Bottles I would definitely rebuy. It's going to be all of these: Aventus, Viking, Tuxedo, Jubilation 25. If I ever get through this bottle, and then lastly on this list is going to be a new release, and this is going to be more for like the designer wise. I think if I were to have to get rid of the rest of my fragrances, or let's say, I had to only keep one designer, it's going to be Acqua di Gio Elixir. Do I love my Dior Homes? Yes, I love my Dior Homes. Yes, I love... what else do I have I don't really know what else I have that are designer fragrances, but Tom Ford's, I guess, but they're a little bit on the higher end side. Louis Vuitton's on the higher end side, so I'm not really considering those. But Acqua di Gio Elixir, actually, if it would have been a longer list, Sauvage Elixir would have been on this list, but it's not. I honestly reached over this without even thinking about Sauvage Elixir. If not, I would have probably been standing in my closet for a while trying to figure out if I should pick this one or Sauvage Elixir. I would have probably picked Sauvage Elixir, but for overall, actually probably not. Just because to wear overall year round, I think this is the better choice that you could wear year round compared to Sauvage Elixir. But they are really close, just because in my opinion, these, Sauvage Elixir and Acqua di Gio Elixir are the best version for their entire line. So it's hard to compete with both of them, especially because they do things differently, but being traditional masculine scents. But this one's going to be a better year-round choice than Sauvage Elixir. But yeah, that is all I have for you guys today. Let me know which 5 fragrances in your collection would make you get rid of the rest. Let's say you can only keep 5 in your collection. Which 5 would you keep? These are 5, and it'd be hard. I'd be looking at other ones like, I'm sorry, I can't take you. Shed a tear a little bit or something. But yeah, that is all I have. Please leave a like, subscribe. I will see you guys on the next one. Have a good one, guys.